Hey there Pokemon fans, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the exciting world of Pokemon TCG Pocket, which has just launched globally. Players from all over the world are jumping in to collect, trade, and battle with the brand new cards, and let me tell you, the hype is real. Whether you're a seasoned TCG veteran or a total newbie, there's something special about this game that's got everyone buzzing, so grab your Pokédex and get ready, because we're about to explore some of the best cards that are taking the game by storm. Now, I know what you're thinking, what makes these cards the best? Well my friends, it's all about strategy, rarity, and that sweet synergy with your favorite Pokemon. From powerful attackers that can turn the tide of battle, to those sneaky support cards that help you outsmart your opponent, we've got it all covered. Stick around as we break down our top picks and share some tips on how to use them effectively in your deck. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Let's jump right in. I'm quickly moving on to the video and I'm ranking best cards in Pokemon TCG Pocket. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. First, let's start with the best Pokemon cards.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The best cards in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Farfetch, Blastoise X, Marowak X, Exeggutor X, Electrode, Kangaskhan, and Jinx. Alright Pokemon fans, let's dive into the world of C-tier cards in the Pokemon trading card game. These cards might not be the top tier, but they still pack a punch and can definitely hold their own in a match. So grab your deck and let's talk about some of the coolest C-tier contenders that might just surprise you. First up is Farfetch'd. This little guy may have a quirky reputation, but don't underestimate him. With 60 HP and his efficient attack, Leak Slap, he can dish out a solid 40 damage for just 1 energy. It's a simple yet effective play that can really help you keep the pressure on your opponent. Plus, who doesn't love a Pokemon with a trusty Leak by its side? He's a fun card to include when you need a cheap and cheerful attacker. Now, let's talk about Blastoise X. With a hefty 180 HP, he's not just a pretty face. He can sweep through teams if you load him up with enough energy. Imagine powering him up while your opponent is trying to strategize around your water-type moves. Sure, he might not be the flashiest pick in the game, but that resilience can really tip the scales in your favor. Just be ready to unleash that power when the moment strikes. Next on our list is Marowak X. This fighting-type powerhouse has a unique move called Bonemerang, which can hit like a truck. On a lucky flip, you could deal a whopping 160 damage. But be careful, because there's also a chance you could end up dealing 0 damage. It's a gamble that can lead to a thrilling comeback or a frustrating setback. But isn't that the heart of Pokemon battles? The risk can definitely be worth the reward if you play your cards right. Moving on, we have Exeggutor X. With an impressive 160 HP, this grass type can last longer in battle, and its attack, Tropical Swing, deals between 40 and 80 damage, depending on how you roll. This versatility makes Exeggutor X a valuable asset in any deck. It's like having a Swiss Army knife in your Pokemon arsenal. Plus, he's always ready to put up a fight, so don't be afraid to showcase this leafy legend in your matches. Last but not least, let's not forget about Electrode and Kangaskhan. Electrode may have 90 HP, but for just 2 energy, he can deal 70 damage, which is a pretty sweet deal. And with his free retreat cost, you can swap him in and out of battle without a hitch. Kangaskhan, on the other hand, brings a solid 100 HP to the table, capable of hitting for 80 damage if you get those lucky flips right. It's great to have a bit of bulkiness combined with damage potential in your deck, so there you have it. These C-tier cards may not be the best of the best, but they can definitely surprise your opponents and bring some fun to your gameplay. Whether you're looking for a quirky attacker like Farfetch'd or a solid fighter like Blastoise X, these cards are great additions that keep your strategy diverse, so why not give them a shot in your next match? Happy battling, and may your draws be ever in your favor. The best cards in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Dragonite, Pidgeot, Venusaur X, Zapdos X, Kabutops, and Arbok. Alright fellow trainers, let's dive into the world of B-tier cards in the Pokemon TCG Pocket game. These cards may not be the absolute powerhouses you'd find in the top tiers, but they certainly have their charm and can hold their own when used strategically. So, let's take a closer look at some of these hidden gems that are just waiting to shine in your deck. First up, we have Dragonite. With a solid 160 HP, this dragon type is like that friend who shows up just when you need them. Once set up, Dragonite can swing games in your favor, proving to be a tough opponent to knock out. It's got the bulk to withstand hits, making it a reliable choice for a mid-game powerhouse. Imagine putting this bad boy on the field and watching your opponents sweat as they try to find a way to take it down. Next on our list is the beloved Pidgeot. This colorless bird might not look intimidating, but its drive-off ability is a game changer. It acts like a free Sabrina every turn, disrupting your opponent's plans while you build up your strategy. And let's not forget about Wing Attack, dealing a solid 70 damage. Perfect for taking out most non-X basic Pokemon or softening up X Pokemon for a quick knockout later. With Pidgeot in your deck, you'll have your opponent guessing what you'll do next. Now, let's talk about Venusaur X, which boasts a whopping 190 HP. This grass-type beast is not just difficult to take down for non-fire Pokemon, it can also heal itself with its Giant Bloom ability while dealing damage. It's like bringing a medic to a Pokemon battle. With Venusaur X on your side, you'll be able to sustain your presence on the field while chipping away at your opponent's life points. That's a win-win situation if you ask me. Then we have Zapdos X, the Lightning-type Dynamo, with its ability to consistently deal 40 damage for just one energy-using peck. This card is a nightmare for Lightning-weak Pokemon. Plus, with a low 1 retreat cost, you can switch it out easily when the situation demands it. Zapdos X can create pressure and force your opponent to think twice about their strategy. It's like a quick jolt of electricity in your deck. Last but certainly not least, let's shine a light on Kabutops and Arbok. Kabutops, with its 140 HP, is incredibly tough to knock out thanks to its self-healing ability, Leech Life. It's an efficient attacker that can make your opponents feel like they're hitting a brick wall. On the other hand, Arbok brings some serious disruption to the table. Its ability to trap weak and unprepared Pokemon makes it a decent tank with its 100 HP, allowing it to match up favorably against pesky Mewtwo X decks. So there you have it. B-tier cards might not get the spotlight they deserve, but with the right strategy and a little creativity, they can be the surprise MVPs of your deck. Don't underestimate their potential to turn the tide in your favor. The best cards in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Pikachu X, Moltres X, and Charizard X. Alright, let's dive into the wonderful world of Pokemon TCG Pocket. Today, we're exploring some seriously powerful A-tier cards that can really spice up your gameplay. These cards may not steal the spotlight like some of their legendary counterparts, but they pack a punch and can turn the tide in any match. First up is Pikachu X. This little guy may be small, but he's a force to be reckoned with. With an impressive HP of 120, he can consistently dish out 90 damage with his Circle Circuit attack. Plus, his retreat cost is set low, which means you can easily swap him out when needed. He's perfect for those fast-paced games where you want to keep the pressure on your opponent without breaking the bank on retreat costs. Next, let's talk about Moltres X. With 140 HP and the ability to ramp up your fire deck with Inferno Dance, this fiery bird is a great addition to your team. What makes Moltres X stand out is its unique resistance. Being a fire type, it doesn't have the typical water weakness, making it a solid choice against those pesky water decks. Plus, with that 140 HP, it can take a hit from Pikachu X's Circle Circuit without getting knocked out. Talk about staying power. And who could forget about the iconic Charizard X? With a whopping 180 HP, this majestic Pokemon is a powerhouse in any deck. His Crimson Dive attack can knock out virtually any opponent's Pokemon, making him a real threat on the field. Charizard X is like the heavyweight champion of A-tier cards. He can withstand a lot of damage and deliver a knockout blow when you need it most. If you want a card that can help you dominate the battlefield, look no further than this fiery legend. So, whether you're looking to set up a strategic combo with Pikachu X, take advantage of Moltres X's unique strengths, or unleash the might of Charizard X, these A-tier cards are sure to enhance your Pokemon TCG Pocket experience. Happy battling! The best cards in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Articuno X, Mewtwo X, and Starmie X. Alright, let's dive into the world of Pokemon TCG Pocket and chat about some absolute game changers in the S tier. These cards aren't just good, they're basically the creme de la creme of your deck, always demanding attention when they hit the table. If you leave them unchecked, they'll absolutely dominate the game. First up, we have Articuno X, a water-type powerhouse with a hefty 140 HP. This beauty can completely obliterate unprepared teams with its Misty attack, setting the stage for a massive sweep. And don't sleep on Blizzard. Not only does it deal a solid 90 damage, but it also hits those benched Pokemon, making it a fantastic tool for controlling the game. Plus, it can 2 HKO most X Pokemon. When Articuno's in play, you really need to have a game plan or risk getting swept away. Next in line is the legendary Mewtwo X. With 150 HP, this Psychic type is the ultimate threat on the battlefield. Its Psychic Sphere can score an OHKO against pesky little 50 HP Pokemon like Staryu, clearing the way for your strategy. And just wait until you unleash a Psy Drive. This move can take out almost anything in the format. Mewtwo's presence is felt immediately, and if your opponent isn't ready, they might find themselves in a tough spot really fast. Finally, let's talk about Starmie X, another water-type gem that packs a punch with its 130 HP. For just 2 water energy, Hydro Splash deals a whopping 90 damage, which is incredible value. And let's not forget about that free retreat cost. It's a game changer for your strategy, allowing you to pivot when needed without wasting precious resources. Plus, being a stage 1 means it's super easy to set up. When you've got Starmie X in your corner, you're well on your way to securing victory, so there you have it. These S tier cards are not just impressive, they're vital to crafting a winning strategy. When you play with Articuno X, Mewtwo X, and Starmie X, you're not just playing, you're making your opponent sweat. Be sure to keep an eye on them in your games, trust me, you won't want to let them slip through your fingers. Now let's talk about the best trainer cards. The best cards in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Blaine, Erica, Lieutenant Surge, Koga, and Brock. Alright, let's dive right into the world of B tier trainer cards in Pokemon TCG Pocket. These cards might not always steal the show, but they pack some serious advantages, albeit with a few strings attached. So, grab your decks and let's see how these cards can spice up your gameplay. First up, we have Blaine. Now, if you're running a fire deck, Blaine is like that friend who always knows the best pizza place. He's fantastic for decks featuring Pokemon like Magmar, Rapidash, or Ninetales. By utilizing Blaine, you can dish out some extra damage, which is crucial when you're trying to turn the tide in a heated battle. Just remember, he's best suited for those fiery builds, so you'll want to make sure you're stacking your deck with the right elements. Next on our list is Erica. If you're looking to keep your grass Pokemon in the game longer, she's your go-to gal. Imagine being able to heal your Pokemon while still packing a punch. That's what Erica brings to the table. The catch? She shines brightest in grass decks, so make sure you've got enough leafy friends to make her worth your while. If you love strategy, then you'll appreciate how she can help you maintain your edge in prolonged matches. Then we have Lieutenant Surge, who's like a bolt of lightning in a Raichu-centric deck. He's perfect for quickly setting up your Raichu, especially if you've got Magneton as a backup attacker in your Pikachu X deck. The key with Lieutenant Surge is to plan your moves carefully, as he can really accelerate your setup if you play your cards right. Just be mindful of his limitations. He's best when you're focused on electric energy. Moving on, let's chat about Koga. He's an absolute lifesaver for getting Muk and Weezing out of tight spots. Plus, if you're running a Dragonite deck that features Weezing, Koga is your best friend. With his help, you can maneuver your Pokemon out of sticky situations and keep the pressure on your opponent. The ability to pivot and reposition can be a game changer, especially in a heated match where every turn counts. Finally, let's not forget Brock. If your deck is built around both Golem and Onix, he's a great asset. Brock provides that essential ramp-up option, allowing you to get your heavy hitters into play faster. It's all about synergy, right? With Brock on your side, you can create a robust strategy that puts your opponents on the back foot before they even know what hit them. So, whether you're building a fiery, grassy, or rock-solid deck, these B-tier trainer cards can give you the edge you need. Just remember to play to their strengths and embrace the conditions that come with them. Happy battling, and may your draws always be in your favor. The best cards in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, X-Speed, Misty, Potion, Giovanni, and Red Card. Alright, let's dive into the world of a tier trainer cards. These cards are like that trusty sidekick who's always there when you need a boost, but they don't always steal the spotlight. While they may not be as essential as the legendary S tier cards, they pack some serious punch and can totally swing the tide of a match in your favor. So, let's break down a few of these fantastic A tier cards and see how they can elevate your game. First up, we have X-Speed. This little gem is a game changer when it comes to retreating your Pokemon. With X-Speed in your deck, you can easily reduce your retreat cost, making it a breeze to swap out your Pokemon when the going gets tough. Imagine being stuck with a damaged Pokemon and having no way to retreat. Frustrating, right? But with X speed, you can slide in that fresh, healthy Pokemon without breaking a sweat. It's all about keeping your strategy flexible. Now, let's talk about Misty. If you're running a water-type deck, this card is your best friend. It can really help your Pokemon, like the mighty Articuno X, make some swift moves that catch your opponent off guard. Just picture it. You flip a coin and land one heads. Boom! You're suddenly a turn ahead. That kind of momentum can make all the difference, pushing your water Pokemon to sweep through the opposition when they least expect it. Next up is the classic Potion. It might seem simple, but don't underestimate this card. Potion can be a lifesaver by healing your damaged Pokemon, putting them back in fighting shape just when you need it most. In plenty of situations, it can get your Pokemon out of KO range, allowing you to stay in the game longer and keep the pressure on your opponent. It's all about turning the tide and keeping your key players in the fight. Finally, we have Giovanni and Red Card. Giovanni is a sneaky little number that can help you score those critical KOs, especially when you're just 10 damage short of taking down your opponent's Pokemon. Timing is everything, and Giovanni can turn a close call into a glorious victory. On the flip side, the Red Card is all about disruption. By reducing your opponent's hand size and giving them a new hand of 3, you can throw a wrench in their carefully laid plans. Whether it's early or a late game, catching them off guard with a Red Card can be oh so satisfying. So there you have it. A tier trainer cards are powerful tools that can give you situational benefits and help you swing the game in your favor. Incorporating these cards into your deck can elevate your strategy and keep your opponents on their toes. So next time you're building your deck, don't forget about these fantastic A tier cards. The best cards in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Professor's Research, Pokeball, and Sabrina. Alright folks, let's dive into the world of trainer cards in the Pokemon TCG, because today we're talking about the creme de la creme, our S tier picks. These are the cards that aren't just good, they're practically must-haves for any deck that can run them. If you're serious about building a competitive deck, you'll want to make sure you've got these bad boys included right from the start. First up is Professor's Research. This card is basically the lifeblood of every deck. Need to find that crucial card to turn the tide of battle? This card's got your back. With its ability to let you discard your hand and draw 7 new cards, it helps you cycle through your deck like a pro. No more fumbling around in your hand, wondering what to do next. Whether you need a specific Pokemon, trainer card, or energy, Professor's Research will help you find exactly what you're looking for. Next, we can't overlook Pokeball. This nifty little card is perfect for thinning out your deck and getting those basic Pokemon onto the battlefield. It's incredibly versatile, fitting seamlessly into just about any deck you throw together. The ability to search for a basic Pokemon can be a game changer, especially when you're aiming for a fast start. You might even find yourself reaching for a couple of these in every deck you build. It's all about maximizing your chances and keeping the momentum rolling. Last but definitely not least is the clever Sabrina. She's not just about drawing cards, she's a tactical powerhouse. With her ability to bring out an opponent's benched Pokemon, you can disrupt their game plan and force them to deal with a Pokemon they weren't ready for. Sometimes, that means pulling out their strongest contender, which can put them in a real bind. Imagine your opponent scrambling to retreat a Pokemon they were relying on. It's these kinds of strategic moves that can turn the tide in your favor, making Sabrina a card you definitely want in your arsenal. So there you have it. These S-tier trainer cards are essential tools in your Pokemon TCG toolbox. With cards like Professor's Research, Pokeball, and Sabrina, you're setting yourself up for success and keeping your opponents on their toes. Happy battling, and may your draws be ever in your favor. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.